Right, everyone. So, um, let's just pick up from where we left off. We had actually exported a coin UV snapshot, and this is how it looks like. What we need to do now is create bump maps, and there's lots of ways you can do this. The most simplest of it is to use Photoshop, but I'm gonna be a bit playful today and kind of get this image, which is essentially a JPEG. So let me just save that out to the right folder. Let's see, maybe I'll just put it here in lesson textures and create. Oh, I have it there already. So I have it there. Let me just copy this link, click cancel, and I'm gonna open up Illustrator here, and I'm gonna create a document. You'll see what I'm trying to do in a bit. So let's just click create, and I'm going to place go to file, place, and I'm gonna place the picture that I had earlier, which is this guy looking very beardy. Cool, now I have that. And I know, and if you've used Illustrator before, we have this thing called image trace. So I'm gonna attempt and do that using image trace, and immediately I get something which I think is kind of cool. Of course I can tweak things, but since this is just a demo, I'll just make it done very quickly. So I'll expand that, and everything's good and nice. And tell you what, let me just Control Shift G, which whereby I ungroup things. Let's just see if I got that out of the way. Cool. Let's just get this out of the way, and this is my stuff here. Let's just zoom it in, and now I have a face which I can use to build my textures, my bump map texture in Photoshop. So let's just open up Photoshop, and I'm gonna open up this coin UV snapshot here. Let me just copy that, Control C, go to Photoshop, click open, and I'm gonna paste the link that has my coin UV snapshot, which is this one here. Let's just open it up. Cool. On the outset, what you see is, and I have so many things here, let me just kind of adjust things a bit so that, alright, cool. Now I have just these, and I'm gonna put it here perhaps, and kind of raise that up. Okay, now we have my layers lay out pretty well. On the outside, you see that this is your UV snapshot. Of course you can't see it really well, so let's just create a new layer, and I'll name this layer as the black background. And if it's a black background, it means that I need to fill it with the color black. So I'll just press Control Backspace, which gives you a white, which is not what I want, so I'll use alternate backspace. So that's a black for the black background. Let's just move it down here, and immediately you can see that this is your UV snapshot here. Let's just name it UV snapshot for better organization. Cool. Now tell you what, let me get this bearded guy and copy that and paste it here in Photoshop. And it's gonna ask whether you want it as a path, smart object, or whatnot. I'll say I want it as a path, so I'll click OK, and nope, that's not what I want. Let's just do that again. Control V. Let's see what happens if I do smart object. Alright, that seems to work, and let's just scale that up. Is that a good size? That seems like a good size, and press enter. Sweet, now I have that as a smart object. It is kind of rasterized, which is fine by me. Let's just select all of that, and ooh, we have things here that we don't want, so I'm gonna take that out a bit. Let's just see, the best way of doing this perhaps is to let me just really think hard about it. Should I fill it in? Tell you what, I'm gonna select this parts here and this part too, and I'm gonna give it a different color of that grayish color, and I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to color that in. And with that, I'm going to create another layer, select that smart object, and I'll fill this in with a white color instead. Cool. And that way I can get rid of my vector smart object. Yes, delete that. Sweet. If I were to switch off my UV snapshot now, what I get is that picture of that guy. Alright, cool. What do I want to do with this guy? Just think hard about it. Let's just name it properly. So those are the parts that will kind of go down. I'm gonna name it go down, and these are my stuff that will go up. So the way bump map works is if it's black, it will go down or not move at all. If it's white, it's gonna go up. So with this part here of the UVs of the bump map, I need it to be somewhat a black color. So tell you what, let me just bring up my color panel. Let's see where it is. I want a HSB slider, cool, and I want it to be of a grayish color like so. Sweet. And probably this will work. Alternate backspace. That might work. We'll see what happens when we apply it as a bump map. Might work. Yeah, I'll just leave it as it is for now. Let's turn back our UV snapshot. I'm gonna create one more layer here, and I'm gonna put the name as text. I'm gonna use my marquee tool, and I'm going to enlarge from the center here, and I know that I want my text to run along that part of the mesh. And from here, what I'll do is I'll go to my paths, and I'm going to convert my selection here into a path like that. Sweet. And let's just use my text tool, and I'm going to choose the first one, and I'll click on the path and I'll give it a name. What should we name it? I'll just simply put, because this looks like a bit like Wadoyo, so I'll just I could probably change the colors to white. Okay, and just gonna move these sliders around so we get a nice flowing text like that. Okay, and that seems okay. And I'm going to duplicate this path. So and I'm going to apply another text here. So let's just move this right down here and extend that part. It's kind of looking okay. Sweet. Just apply that. Right. Perhaps I could see if I'm selecting the right one. I could probably scale it down, so I'm going to scale it down just a bit and kind of move it up like so. Alright, let's not go too crazy with this. And I'll tell you what, I want to take out all these things, so I'll select that and delete, hide that one, and just delete that guy. Yes, don't bother about that. So that's how things are looking like at the moment. This could use a bit of scaling down, I assume, and commit that, and let's just put some more text, or maybe shapes, and I'll just use my shape tool here and make sure path is selected, and I'm gonna pick a shape that kind of looks like it works with this bearded Wak Doyok guy. And if you can't see the full extent of things here, you can always go to this settings button and choose all, and it'll load all of your shapes that you can have. Let's see what's a good one. I'll just use the king symbol. That might work wonders, I guess. And just drag it on your canvas here, and I'm gonna use the direct selection tool, select everything and move it in place. Alright, and I'm gonna go to my path and make it into a selection, go back to layers and kind of fill it with a white color like so. Sweet. And let's just kind of select all of that now, and I'm going to duplicate that to the side, Ctrl D to unselect, and this is looking pretty okay. Perhaps that part could be adjusted just slightly. Yep, let's not go too crazy. This is good enough for that part of the coin. And now we are going to do the ridges, and what I'm talking about essentially is, if you look at the references, they have not this one, well, it's this, yeah, you know, all those ridges there that could be modeled in, be placed inside the bump map texture. So I'm gonna do that very quickly. And how do we do that? Let's just create a new layer for that, and let's call it ridges. Oops, whatever. Yeah, press B and that gives you your brush tool, and let's just choose white as the main color, and this is what you get, and let's give it a try. Okay, so you're gonna kind of draw these ridges on this part of the UV snapshot. Let's just do that very quickly. Probably can use a bit smaller, probably even smaller. So I'm gonna kind of drag it down like that. That seems okay, and you can press Ctrl J to duplicate this and move it in place like that. You can keep on doing that by using Ctrl J, which will duplicate the layer, and use your arrow keys to move the different ridges, and you can select all those 4 layers and press Ctrl E, and that way this thing will be treated as one layer by itself. I'm gonna move it in place, and I'm gonna switch off the UV snapshot, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to kind of duplicate this, and the way I do it is by simply, with the layer selected, I press alternate on my keyboard and kind of hold alternate and shift and move it to the side, and let's just use my arrows and put it in place. And once you have that duplicate happening, just press Ctrl E to combine them into one single layer, merge them down, and keep on doing the same thing, alternate shift and moving it to the side, and select 2 layers, Ctrl E, alternate shift, moving it to the side. That's looking really good. Ctrl E, zoom out a bit. How do you zoom out? Press Z and alternate click. Anyway, and again the same thing, alternate shift, move it to the side and move it some more. Let's just zoom in, Ctrl plus, move it in place. Sweet. and we could use one more, and let's just combine that first, and finally I'll just Ctrl J and move it all here, and let's just use my arrow keys to bring it in. Good. I think I have a good let's just merge that, and I think I have a good thing happening for this part of the snapshot. Now let's just give it a try and see what happens when we plug this into our 3D object in Maya. Okay. Alright, this has been a long video, so I'll kind of stop for now, and we'll see each other in the next video. Thank you.